So, good morning, all of you. So, in the previous lecture, we were discussing the evidences for the event mechanism. We have seen that there is no kinetic isotope effect in the event mechanism because the breaking of the C beta hydrogen bond does not take place in the slow step, it takes place in the fast step, and so it does not affect the rate of reaction. The kinetic isotope does not show any effect. Then the next factor, that is the structural effect. So, the first step of the E1 mechanism and the SN1 mechanism is common with the formation of a carbonium ion, and therefore the order of reactivity of alkyl halides is same as SN1. That is, tertiary alkyl halides are reacting more faster than secondary alkyl halides, which reacts more faster than the primary alkyl halides, and so the rate of formation of carbocation and its stability decides that the E1 and as well as SN1 decreases as the stability decreases from tertiary to secondary, secondary to primary. And so here we can say that the tertiary carbocation here, or the tertiary alkyl halide, that is bromine tertiary halide, reacts faster than secondary halides, secondary halides, which reacts faster than primary alkyl halides. So the rate of SN1 and E1 increases from primary to secondary. Primary to primary is less reactive than secondary, secondary is less reactive than tertiary, or it decreases from tertiary to secondary, secondary to primary. So in this way, the structural effect is seen, that is the effect of the substrate in on the rate of E1 mechanism. Then the next aspect, that is C, is rearrangement. That is the evidence for the E1 mechanism. Means if the structure of the substrate permits the first order elimination, it proceeds with rearrangement. It proceeds with the rearrangement. Means that is, the primary carbocation gets converted to secondary, or secondary can get converted to tertiary, because the stability of carbocation goes on increasing from primary to secondary and secondary to tertiary. So we'll take an example that in this molecule, that is 3-methyl 2-butyl tosylate, 3-methyl 2-butyl tosylate, 3-methyl 2-butyl tosylate, and if you carry out the reaction in presence of normal butanol, so in the slow step, that is the rate determining step, you will get the formation of the carbocation, that is CH3CH, CH3, CH, CH3. So this is your alpha carbon, beta carbon, this is beta dash. So the carbocation which is obtained is your secondary carbocation. It's your secondary carbocation, and so you are going to get two products by elimination of beta dash hydrogen or by elimination of the beta hydrogen. If the beta dash hydrogen is eliminated, the product obtained is your CH3CH3 double bond CH3, that is 2 methyl 2 butene, 2 methyl 2-butene, and this product is obtained according to the Sedgwick's rule because you are getting the three alkyl substituents. So here this product is according to the Sedgwick's rule, and here you are going to get the 3-methyl 1-butene, 3-methyl 1-butene as a product, and this product is obtained according to the Hofmann's rule. So it's considered that oftenly the even reaction proceeds with the major Sedgwick's product. Means here you are getting two products, that is A and this is B. But in addition to the products A and B, the product C is also observed in the reaction. The product C is also observed in the reaction. So how? Here the carbocation, the secondary carbocation which is obtained, secondary carbocation. So here this undergoes a rearrangement. Suppose this proton, we will take it here, and this is secondary carbocation. So by shift of this proton to this carbocation converts the secondary carbocation to tertiary carbocation. It converts the secondary carbocation to the tertiary carbocation by the proton shift. And so this rearrangement has taken place in this step. And with the help of this rearrangement, as it is converted to the tertiary carbocation, and this is the secondary carbocation, and this is more stable. The tertiary carbocation is more stable because instead of here the three alkyl groups, here it is stabilized by the two alkyl groups. The secondary carbocation is stabilized by the two alkyl groups, but here in this case, three alkyl groups are stabilizing the carbocation, and so it's more stable. And here you get the two different products, that is CH2 double bond C, CH3, CH2, CH3. This is 2 methyl 1 butene, 2 methyl 1 butene, and along with this you are getting the another product. By this, eliminating this, you will get CH3, CH3 double bond CH, CH3. So this is your beta and this is your beta dash. This product is obtained by eliminating of beta hydrogen, and this product is obtained by eliminating beta dash. So here you are getting 2 methyl 2 butene, 2 methyl 2 butene. So this is the product A, which is obtained in this mechanism, and this is the C product, which is different. So you are in all getting three products, that is 2 methyl 2 butene, 3 methyl 1 butene, and 2 methyl 1 butene. And so here this is obtained according to the Sedgwick's rule, and this is obtained according to the Hofmann's rule. So the formation of the product C by the hydride ion shift in this reaction indicates that the reaction does not proceed by E2, but it proceeds through the formation of carbocation, that is by E1 route only, by E1 route only, and not by E2. So this is the important aspect, that the even reactions oftenly, if the structure permits, oftenly proceeds with the formation of the rearranged product. Then the next part, that is the evidence, is the absence of hydrogen, absence of beta hydrogen. Means if the substrate does not contain any beta hydrogen atom, if the substrate does not contain any beta hydrogen atom, the reaction cannot proceed by E2 mechanism, and it is having a chance that it will proceed only through the formation of carbocation, and that is by E1 mechanism. So E2 mechanism is not at all possible. So here this molecule will proceed with the formation of the carbocation, and here you are getting the formation of a primary carbocation which is less stable, and so this undergoes rearrangement by methyl shift to this proton and gives you the formation of the another stable carbocation, that is tertiary carbocation. And the tertiary carbocation obtained by the methyl shift is more stable, as the stability order of this carbocation is tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, which is more stable than the primary, and so this gives you again the two products, one by eliminating beta dash hydrogen and one by eliminating the beta hydrogen atom. So this is your beta dash hydrogen, this is the beta hydrogen, this is the beta hydrogen, this is the beta dash. So beta dash gives you the product, that is CH2CH3, CH2CH3, that is 2 methyl 1 butene, 2 methyl 1 butene. This is your Hofmann's product, and here you will get 2 methyl 2 butene, 2 methyl 2 butene as a major product, and this is your product according to Sedgwick's rule, 2 methyl 2 butene according to the Sedgwick's rule. And so if there is no hydrogen atom, the reaction proceeds with the formation of the with the E1 mechanism only and not by E2. So this was all regarding your evidences for the E1 mechanism. Then we are supposed to go for the next point of this topic, that is orientation of E1 mechanism. So as we discussed that the E1 mechanism oftenly proceeds with the Sedgwick's product only, or the Sedgwick's product predominates in the E1 mechanism to give you the highly branched or more stable alkene as a major product. So this depends upon the structure of the substrate and the orientation of this major product, that which beta hydrogen atom is lost faster from the carbocation in step 2, and so it proceeds to form the more stable alkene as a major product. And so here the reactivity and orientation can be seen in the reaction, that is suppose here this CH3CH2CH2, that is the 2-pentyl tosylate, 2-pentyl tosylate, 2-pentyl tosylate in presence of tertiary butanol as a strong base. Here this is the slow step, and this step 1 proceeds with the formation of a carbocation, and this is stabilized by the electron donating inductive effect, that is CH plus CH2H. This is your beta hydrogen, this is your beta dash hydrogen, this is the alpha carbon, and this is the secondary carbocation. And so this tends to give you the more stable product. And so this more stable product is going to be obtained according to the Sedgwick's rule only. So by elimination of beta hydrogen, here you are going to get the product, that is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. That is one pentene. That is one pentene. And this one pentene is obtained as a minor product, that is according to the Hofmann's rule. And you are going to get the two different products, that is the 2 pentene, and this 2 pentene which is going to be obtained by elimination of the beta dash hydrogen, this here you will get CH3 CH2 C double bond C, here H, here H, and CH3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is your 2 butene, and sorry, 2 pentene, that is trans 2 pentene, trans 2 pentene, and this is around 70%. Means it tends to give you the two isomers, geometrical isomers, one cis and the other is trans, where the cis product is minor, cis 2 pentene. This is minor, that is around 19%. Means if you see with respect to the elimination of beta hydrogen atom, the cis product is also major, that is 11%, and that of trans, which where the energy of activation decreases in the transition state, and the stability of the alkene also increases, and so it is obtained as a major product. So the trans 2-pentene is the major product obtained, then the cis 2-pentene, and then the 1-pentene. And so this is the orientation of the reaction, that is even mechanism. Now if we see the effect of the what is the what are the factors that governs the elimination reactions, and so which will be the what is the factors that indicates the difference between the E2 and E1. So the two important factors whether to decide whether the reaction follows E2 mechanism or E1 mechanism, means whether the substrate will react by the using the E2 mechanism or E1 mechanism, depends on the structure of the substrate, structure of substrate. And so it's very common, it's one seen that the primary secondary means the sequence for the primary secondary and tertiary substrates, it's common in both the mechanisms, that is E1 and E2, means whether the primary will react faster or secondary will react faster or the tertiary will react faster. So it proceeds along the that primary tertiary reacts more faster than secondary, secondary reacts most faster than the primary, and this the sequence is same for E1 and E2, it's same for E1 and E2, but for different reasons, but for different reason. So what are the different reasons? The reactivity of E2 increases, E2 increases because of highly branched, or instead of saying highly branched, because of more stable alkene is obtained as a major product, more substituted alkene is being formed in this reaction, means it proceeds to give you the Seltzer product. But the reactivity of E1, the reactivity of E1 increases because the stability due to stability of it increases due to the stability of carbocation, means the secondary carbocation is more stable than primary is less stable than secondary is less stable than tertiary, means the tertiary carbocation is more stable, and so due to the stability of the carbocation in rate determining step, it goes on changing, or it decides that the highly substituted carbocation is more stable due to the hyperconjugative effect and the inductive effect. And the second thing, that is the nature of base. So here we can just conclude in very short that rate of E2 mechanism or the E2 mechanism reaction, it depends on concentration and nature of base. Concentration and nature of base means concentration of the base and the nature of the base affects the rate of E2 reaction, but E1 is independent. E1 is independent because the base does not play the role in the rate determining step. In E1 is independent of base because base is not involved in rate determining step or the slow step where the bond C alpha leaving group bond breaks due to the presence of the solvent and the base is needed to abstract the proton from the beta carbon. So the breaking of C beta hydrogen bond does not take place in rate determining step in the E1 mechanism, and that's why it is independent of the base. So in this way we conclude with our topic, that is elimination reaction. Thank you very much.